Your day moves fast. Your news should too. That's why there's a new and improved Wish TV app bringing you more local news, breaking alerts, live streaming, weather forecasts, radar, and Indiana sports all in one place. Customize your news feed to see the stories that matter most to you and get the information you need when you need it. Download the new and improved Wish TV app today on iOS or Android and take News 8 with you everywhere.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network,
This is AC's Conversations.
AC's Conversations is about sports, music, TV, movies, and more.
Everything and more.
Everything is ready to go.
That include the latest news and rumors, along with interviews with the biggest names in sports and entertainment.
This
Is AC's Conversations with your host,
News 8 Sports Director
The man is the real deal.
Let's go to work, brother.
Anthony Calhoun.
We told you last night here on News 8 at 10 o'clock that Chris Ballard, Shane Steichen, yep, they are coming back. Not nationally, maybe a big surprise, but I know you said this even on Countdown to Kickoff yesterday morning that you thought those two would be coming back, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got the vibe really ever since about mid-season
Really?
that they would be back. I think the Sauce Gardner trade, I think green-lighted by Carly Ursay-Gordon, certainly spearheaded that. We just heard from her earlier in the afternoon, and I think she pretty much said it, that this fast start and 2 months, maybe over 8 years. That might sound odd to some people, but I think that's where she's going in that direction with Chris Ballard, not looking at maybe the entire 9-year sample, focusing more on the 2 months and believing that that's more indicative of where things are going moving forward.
Yeah, before we dive into the co-owner here for the Colts, how surprised were you, though, when she did tell us in the press conference that it was not looking at the last couple of years or the full body of work, if you will, especially when it comes to Chris Ballard here?
Well, the numbers would say you should be surprised. I mean, we're talking 11 years without a division title. We're talking 8 years without a playoff win. We're talking 5 years without a playoff appearance. Just to put that into context, 5 years without a playoff appearance, AC, every NFL team but 2 have made the playoffs in that span. So, again, when you lay it out like that, yes, you should be surprised, but I think there's an acceptance of mediocrity over on West 56th Street that is quite apparent right now. And that's disappointing, I think, to be frank. You know, I think it's an organization that prided itself on so much winning, you know, there in the 2000s. And I don't see that same sort of hunger, desire, accountability probably is the best word, to use it. And I think this run it back here now for year 10 for Ballard, 4 for Steichen, is another action in that.
Yeah, and so today they talked about just it's going to be a totally different situation than what we saw last year as far as the standard. It's going to be more at stake, if you will. Yeah. But the message we heard today, to me, it sounded very similar to what we heard last year.
Yeah, I don't know how much offseason change we're about to see. I think, it is hoping Daniel Jones returns to the torn Achilles as healthy as possible. DeForest Buckner continues to play despite having neck surgery. You know, it's kind of trying to get back to, again, the 2-month start to this season. Injuries certainly were a factor here in this season starting to turn, but 7 straight losses is 7 straight losses. And again, you have multiple years where late season collapses, no matter the health situation, has been a definition of this team. So, you know, a question I had walking out of that press conference room today was, where is that heightened urgency and where was it last year when the droughts and the numbers we just laid out were still, I think, very, very humbling, frankly.
Yeah, you're right about that. Okay, so you talked about Daniel Jones. We know, of course, he had the Achilles injury and missed most of that second half part here when you think about what the Colts here, he's dealing with that injury throughout the time, even going to that Kansas City game. What's the status with him as far as his situation? Do you expect him back here with the horseshoe?
I do. Yes, he is a free agent, but I expect him back. I think the hope is that him and Alec Pierce will both return. One of them maybe could get the franchise tag.
Yeah.
And I think there's some thought that they think Daniel Jones could be ready for week 1, which, again, you know, when does he play and how much does he get back to 100%? I think are 2 different conversations. Now, you know, we saw yesterday Riley Leonard play some pretty good football in his first NFL start. Could you maybe need him early in the season to offset Daniel Jones getting back to full health? But it is interesting, AC, in our market right now. You have the Pacers going for about a 16-month recovery with Tyrese Halliburton and his Achilles.
Yeah.
The Colts are banking on about a 10-month recovery.
Yeah.
With Daniel Jones. So again, this is a big-time injury in the sports world. I get it's 2 different sports, very important players, and they're, of course, the positions that they play as well. But yes, I expect Daniel Jones to be the Colts quarterback in 2026.
Okay, Kevin, appreciate your time, man.
Of course.
Job well done.
Discover more at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to follow and subscribe to the AC's Conversations podcast and others on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Connect now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.